Hello all, good morning, good afternoon. Thank you all for joining. This is Friday, right? This is the third week, end of third week. We are kind of conducting the session. So this is Intune, free Intune training provided by How to Manage Devices community. If you are new to this group, probably my recommendation would be to go back and check the YouTube playlist where you get like 24 episodes, previous 24 episodes of this class. So we started to just to give a recap, right? We started by creating a trial version of Intune, and we are still working with that trial version, right? So we developed everything through this training in this particular Intune tenant. Okay, before we continue, are you guys able to hear me properly? The screen is okay.
Yes, sir. All good.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so yesterday we talked about CSPs, right? Configuration service providers, right? So this is the MDM way of deploying policies, right? In using a lightweight protocol called, what was that, you remember? OMA-DM, right?
Oh my- Yes.
Yeah. So this is the lightweight protocol which we are talking about. Let me change that. Okay. So this is the lightweight protocol we are talking about, and this is industry-wide open protocol. This is not Microsoft proprietary protocol. So Android devices also using this, and probably iOS also, right? I don't know about. I'm not sure about iOS. I don't remember exactly, but I still remember Android CSP OMA-DM policies, right? So okay. Anyways, so and we have seen the structure of CSP policies within the Microsoft documentation. Some starts with something like vendor MSFT. MSFT is Microsoft. Vendor is vendor. That's a normal standard. Registry also you will get the similar kind of standard, right? Okay, and then updates, right? So that this is the CSP for rollback, right? So rollback of or uninstall of software update, quality update, and feature update. CSP was this one, right? So this is the structure we need to provide, and you can find that structure in the event logs also, right? Okay. My screen is flickering. I don't know how about you. Is that okay for you?
Yeah, yeah. No, we are not seeing that flickerish.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so this is the path where you can find like in the event logs you can find the path exactly where which is the CSP, URI, etc. Right? Of technically this is called as URI, right? This path is called as URI. Okay, so if you go to Intune portal, you would be able to see that in clearly. If you want to create a custom policy, custom CSP policy, right? So this is another example of the structure, right? So over here you would be able to see, give me a sec, let me change that. Over here you would be able to see some other structure, right? That is MSFT policy. Over here it was MSFT update, right? So over here you see MSFT policy, right? The structure is changed. So over here you can see like, yeah, it is vendor, then it is changing to policy, right? So policy, then configuration. You'll be wondering what is this configuration and where can I get this details in Microsoft documentation, right? So it's right over here, right? So this is policy CSP, and if you go down a bit, right? And before going there, right? I'm like, you will be wondering why we are looking into this, right? Why we are looking into this. So in many scenarios there won't be out of box policies available, right? Initially, right? For example, if I want to disable this option, if I go to Windows 10, right, Windows update on my client machine, so I want to disable this check for update option or pause option from for my end users, right? So what we can do, right? So there is no out of box policy available. We didn't see any configuration in Intune portal, right? So if when we set up the portal, when we went to Windows 10 update ring and update feature, sorry, feature updates, we didn't see any particular policy to disable that, right? So probably we need to find out some other way to disable that policy, right? I don't know where is that. Okay, this is here. Okay, this is the one, right? This is a policy, right? So this is the policy structure which you want to use for disabling that kind of a policy. So how we can deploy those policies, custom CSPs, I will show you in a minute, right? So that is why we are looking into, okay, that is why we are looking into this kind of structure, right? So over here you can see like config is there, right? Here also you can see config, but after that, right, after that there is our area name, but over here it says update, right? You can see update over here, but over in the structure it is area name. So you need to find out your area name from the documentation, right? So how do you find that out, right? It's clearly documented over here. If you come down, right, it's already mentioned what are the area names available. Create a group, area group that can be configured by a single technology for a single providers, right. So there will be different area names for different things in Intune, right? So or this is basically not Intune, right? This is basically Windows 10 MDM policies, right? Intune is helping us to configure that, right? Okay, so now we need to find out what is the policy for update, right? Update. So there are updates to this is not the update which we are looking for, right? Defender updates. We are not looking for the defender updates. We are not looking for the, let me be clear on that rather than wasting our time. So it is updates and slash post feature updates, right? Let me check for that. Updates, or again forgot. So update or updates. Okay, it's update. Okay, so let me go to update and say post, right? Post. Okay, so we got that area name and the path over here, right? So how to post the deferral updates, right? So CSP is there, right? So same thing can be done for this one also, right? So update set disable UX Windows update access, right? So this is the path for that, right? So let me search that whether that is available, to understand whether that is available. Come on, that is not, copy paste is not working. So I forgot what was the set disable. Let me remember that. Set disable. Yeah, okay. So it's over here, right? Two options. Set disable pause UX access, that is pausing the UX. You can disable the pause action in the UX over here, right? So there is a pause action over here. If you don't want to provide this feature to users, then you can disable it through this custom CSP policy. Same thing for WU access. So WU is nothing but Windows update access, right? Okay, so I came to this path, right? So this is the path which which you want to use along with the other one, right? So this is the end path, right? But you already got this path from that CSP URI, okay? The from the diagram above, or previously shown diagram, right? So the other important thing over here, these two values, right? Value is integer. This is critical information, right? So let me capture this, right? Let me capture this and make a diagram over here if I can copy it, right? Okay, so this integer value is important, right? Please remember, right? Value type is integer, right? And default value is 0. So default value, I am assuming default value is enabled, right? So normally default is enabled, right? And if you want to disable it, then you need to put or assign or set this policy to 1, right? So 1 is the value for enabling or sorry, disabling it, right? So now let's see how to configure this. So first of all, you need to find out the appropriate CSP, and you need to find out the URI, right? So URI is nothing but this one, right? This one, vendor MSFT policy config update, right? Pause feature update, something like that for pausing, right? But for for disabling the UX, this is the URI, right? So I'm going to copy this. I think I lost the. Are you guys still with me?
Yes, Anup.
Okay. So my connection, internet connection got dropped, and call got disconnected. So okay. Okay, so this is the path, URI path, CSP URI path you need to remember. Now let's go into Intune portal, right? And where let me go from devices, right? So devices, always select Windows, right? If you are configuring Windows policies, always select platform as Windows, then you can avoid those other options, right? The only Windows applicable options will be available in this, right? Okay, click on configuration policies. So this is a policy where we are going to create, this is the place where we are going to create the custom policies, right? So click on that and click on create profile, right? So create profile is nothing but creating a policy, right? Don't get confused with that name, right? So select a platform over here. I'm going to use Windows 10 and later, and then I'm going to say custom, right? From the profile options, right? If I can say that correctly. Okay, then click on create button over here and put some excellent name, right? I'm going to say this disable, right? UX option for Windows update, right? Be clear when you create policies, and it will be kind of helpful for other admins, like in the name also, right? It will be helpful for other admins. So probably what you can do is, while creating the policy, it is better to have the documentation probably over here itself, right? So if somebody wants to check this, probably they can check it out from the console itself. So they will get the reference, and it would be useful for you, right, for the next time, right? You will be thinking like, I have seen like many times, for me it happened with me, like I don't know which was that URL, right, which I used to get this policy URI, right? So what I did is I clicked the next on the previous screen, right? I just provided description and the name of the policy, and it came to configuration settings, right? So over here you can see OMA-URI. OMA-URI is CSP URI. It's using OMA-DM. So this is the OMA-DM protocol which you are using, right, through Intune to deploy the policies for Windows 10 MDM managed devices, right? Okay, so more information you can always click there. I'm going to add one entry over here. You can configure like n number of entries over here. That's not an issue, right? So I'm going to provide a name probably. So I don't know. Okay, I copied that URL, right? So I want to go back here, and normally what I do is I I do this kind of naming convention, right? And probably I will provide UX UK, not UK, UX disable for WU. Okay, and these star marks, right? These are mandatory options, right? So required options. So you cannot skip that. So OMA-URI, which is the OMA-URI? We already have a OMA-URI for disabling that, and that is this one, right? And this dot is also very important. Don't remove that dot, right? So just to show you, right? There are, in some scenarios you would be able to see two dots, right? So this is one of them. So I was testing our differ feature updates and what is happening, and I was troubleshooting on that. Yesterday we had a trouble uninstalling the feature updates, right? So over here you would be able to see two dots, right? I think this is a syntax error on the page, on this documentation, right? When I tried to deploy this policy, this URI, using this URI, it it had given me an error. Probably those two dots are not required. Only one dot is required, right? So I don't know. I cannot confirm that, but that is what my experience is in Intune, right? Okay, so just that is about the URI. So you know how to get the URI, right? Now the data type. Data type is basically this one, right? So you will see value type here, right? Value type is data type, right? So you can see, if we are going to configure that UX stuff, then that is an integer, right? So that is an integer. So I need to select integer over here, right? There are a lot of options, right? But for this policy, I'm going to select integer. And what is our value? Our value is default is 0. 0 is enabled. Now I need to put 1 over here, right? So I can disable the UX for Windows Update. So just after filling out this, click on add, right? I clicked on add. Now if I want to disable UX for pause, right? This is for WU, Windows Update, right? Now I want to disable the UX for pause. Then I can add a policy over here, or I can wait for I can create another policy, right? So I will always recommend to add all related policies over here in the same thing, but you need to remember to put the appropriate name to the policy, right? So for this policy, I have specifically mentioned as disabling UX for WU. That is why I'm not going to add pause option over here, right? I just click next, and I'm going to click next. I'm not going to add for scope at the moment. You can add scope whenever you need later, right? I'm going to deploy this policy. So this is assignment, right? You know now the assignment, how it works in Intune, right? So you can assign this to HTMD group, some groups, right? Windows device group, probably Windows devices group. I want to disable this for all my Windows devices, Windows 10 devices, right? So I added that group. And if you want to exclude this policy for some of the devices, you can exclude a group, AD group, right? So before proceeding, as a best practice, you always need to make sure you are adding a correct group, right? So from where you can do that? So this is the AAD group, dynamic group, and you can check the membership whether it has only the required devices or not, right? So these are the required devices in my tenant, in this tenant, right? So I'm going to go ahead with the assignment. I confirmed my group. I'm not going to do any wrong deployment. I'm not going to deploy to all the devices in my organization, 10 10,000 or more than that number of devices, right? So I'll be doing only for 4 devices for testing, right? So that's fine. So click next, and this is the review button, and after that you would be able to see a creation option over here, right? I think I missed one thing, important thing over here. These applicability rules are very useful in some scenarios, right? So applicability rules are basically, if you are familiar with SCCM, you know this already, right? So this is like before applying the policy, it will check whether this is applicable for this particular the particular device or not, right? So you can say like this is applicable only for the enterprise edition of Windows 10, right? OS edition, or you can specify a particular version of Windows, right? So if you are not familiar with the version, you can check how to put the version number of Windows 10, right? So min version is there. So you can try WinVer application, and in the documentation it's clearly mentioned which one, right? So that is clearly like very useful option which I missed initially. So I just wanted to show. In the scenario, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to disable it or delete it, all right? And click on next and review the options, right? This is the description which I used. This is the name, right? And you can see like OMA-URI policy over here, integer, etc., etc., right? OMA-URI description and name, right? And this is the group which you are deploying, right? Okay. So you remember there's no available options over here. These are all mandatory, right? Deployments. Okay. Click on next. Let me show you that as well, right? So, so over here, right? You don't have any scheduling option available, right? You cannot schedule this for a particular time, or I don't see any option like that over here. And there is no available option here. It doesn't make sense for policies, basically, right? So that is why you are not expecting users to go somewhere and install this policy, right, from company portal. No, that is not going to happen anyways, right? So just click on create and see what is going to happen, right? So it says profile created, disable UX, okay, and assign profile to at least one group. This is probably a non-issue, right? Or it is taking time until it gets uploaded, right? So as per this notification, created and it got uploaded basically, right? and you can check that with F12. I don't know how many of you remember that F12 option which I covered in the previous recording, right? So you will be able to see like what is exactly happening in the background using the Power BI, Graph API kind of stuff like that. F12 option from the portal, right? So if I go back here, you will say you won't see that option. You need to assign. So that is kind of a non-issue. You can ignore it, and you can see group assigned as one, and platform supported, group excluded, nothing. Right? There's no device status. It's all pending. Now I'm going to go over here, right? And I'm going to see what is going to happen over here in this mission, right? So before that, let me get my friend event viewer here, and let me go over here. No, not this one. This is the troubleshooting front of for you, right? If you have any issues with MDM policies, it's always go to application service logs and Windows. Inside Windows, go to device management and admin, right? So see what is the time. 8:26 is the time, and something happened, right? In 8:26, right? So it says ADMS. Yeah, this is our fake, famous, or yeah, famous fake policy, right? Okay, so you know that is a known issue. Don't worry about that if you are not familiar with that. So I'm just checking whether it got something over here, right? It said set policy, integer update, area update, requesting merge, something happened here, and that was successful, right? Offline domain join, you can ignore that, right? So I think some good news there. We automatically it got synced, but I don't know why, but it is giving me some error over here. That is health certificate error. That is fine. And manage pre-check. Okay, that's fine, I think. Okay, 26. Lot of policies, and you can see policy, security. That is a different area, right? Security required retrieve health certificate on boot, right? Okay, we don't have any of those for the virtual missions, right? So that's fine. But yeah, let's check what happened now. So we didn't sync this manually, right? So see, okay, cool. The option got disabled, right? So Intune is working, and Intune works, right? Some of the policies are kind of a critical policy. It will automatically get applied without syncing it, right? So that's cool, right? So let's go back to one the status and check whether it is able to see any status. Ah, cool. Superb. All are successful. Great stuff, right? So let's take, which is this mission. um Host name 0403. Intune 03 is this mission. So let me go to Intune 03, and this is troubleshooting, right, from the console. Intune 03 and device configuration, right? Disable UX is succeeded, right? So it succeeded over here. You can see like what has happened, what we did, settings you can see over here. Set disable, right, UX, and this is the OMA-URI or CSP URI which we used from that documentation, right? And this is a profile name, etc., right? So the state is succeeded. So yeah, the idea is we have disabled the option to check the updates from the user side. So yeah, that's cool, right? So that's almost 8:30 now, so or 12, I think 1 o'clock in India. So let's get some questions now. So another five minutes if you have any questions.
Hi, Anup.
Hey,
In generally, when we apply any policies from the group policies from a domain level, we can generate a report by using GP result. When it comes to the CSP in a machine, how can we check what are the policies has applied? Can we take report?
I think you missed the previous videos or previous classes, some classes probably, right? So if I go to access work or school, right,
Okay,
in the accounts, right, go to info, right, you would be able to see which are the policies applied from here, right? And
okay,
better report you will get from here. Create a report, right? Create a report and export it. I will cover this in a later stage, but this is the and I had showed this on previous occasions also, right? I will have a separate episode on troubleshooting and all the other stuff, right? But overall, yeah, this is the way. Create report and it will create a report for you and you can search for the particular policies.
okay. And also we deployed here as a devices. When we select all the devices, it has Azure AD registered, Azure AD domain joined. Correct.
Exactly.
Means work profile. I mean, work. It's a kind of work profile. Like when we say Android means if a user device, if I register my personal device, that is also being controlling the organization, right? If I want to skip that, it has to. It should not go to Azure AD registered. Then we need to select only as a rule as corporate, because in the rule type we didn't see any corporate. We could see applicability rule only for OS version or OS type.
Exactly. Exactly. You need to control that from uh, AAD groups.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
you need to have some different groups. I have different groups over here, so probably I should have, if that is my scenario, then I should have used personal device group or uh, corporate owned device groups, right? Company owned devices and personal devices, right? I should,
Yeah.
if you have a scenario like it should go only to the company owned devices, then you should or deploy that particular policy to this particular group rather than the entire Windows group.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Anup, Harish here.
Yeah, Harish.
From yesterday's, actually, the question is one of the condition to uninstall the feature update is that we need to have a latest version available. But in some cases, where in case we have 1903 or something, we can't uninstall the feature update.
Yeah. So basically, I don't know, right? That is the honest answer, right? So for me, the uninstall the feature update is not working for me. I don't know like why. Okay. I'm not able to figure out that yet. So I don't know the answer, but the logic behind is yes. So more important point is, right, this one. Condition is this one.
Okay.
Mission should be within uninstall period, right? So so our uninstall period is 20 days. It was 20 days when we created it, right? So you need to look into what is the maximum available uninstall period, right? So probably there is, I think there is a limitation over there also. So after that you won't be able to disable anyways or uninstall anyways as per the
Hmm.
documentation.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries. Any other questions?
If no other questions, we did this subscription around 1 month back, right? I got a message saying that mine will get expired in 2 days or something. How about yours?
I
We have
I
to.
didn't I didn't get any. I was wondering that,
Yeah.
but I didn't get any.
I got
Probably
a
mine is
mail
special.
actually. I got a mail actually.
Oh, my mail is I'm not checking that mail probably, so that is why.
For
So
MVPs, it might not. No.
no, this is the trial version, right? I know you're
Specialists.
joking, yeah.
Yeah.
Anup sir, I have
Let's
Your
share.
voice is feeble.
Hello, Anupja?
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, yeah, it's clear now,
Yeah.
right?
So I have, I mean, yeah, I have get the license, trial license for enterprise mobility plus security E5. So after enabling that one trial license, I can able to see that MDM everything in that Azure portal. Still, I need to purchase the trial license for Intune also.
No,
No, not required.
not required. That EMS E5 and E3 is part of Intune is also part of that. So you can go to licenses and you can check which are the options available, which are the products available for
Yeah,
you.
I
So you can see like
yeah
if you
I
go to
saw that.
yeah, then it's fine, I think.
Yeah, E5 also it is the trial period for 90 days. I can see that one.
Yeah, 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 that's fine, I think.
Basically, yeah, I was attended on Azure training. So
Okay.
they have provided the subscription for 30 days with the amount of $50.
Mm-hmm.
So when I open that with the my tenant, I can see Azure Active Directory Premium P2 was there. So after attending this Intune training, I tried to enable security E5 license. So now I can see all the MDM related stuffs over there.
Yeah,
And
all.
checking your videos, and I am just using one by one. I thought to ask this question.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
Uh,
no worries.
can we have that OMA-URI article in chat?
Yeah, yeah, I will share that in chat, and as well as it will be there in the recording video description also. So you don't need to worry about that. No worries.
So this one which you shared yesterday, the policy CSP. So we do not have OMA-URI information there, right? So
It's already there. Probably you need to spend much more time on that because there will be hundreds of links inside that document itself, right? Anyways, I will share that in today's video as well as over here. No worries.
yeah, thank you.
I don't want to hide any information from you. It's not my proprietary information, so don't worry about that.
So
Thank
Anup, in general, just from my understanding, this OMA URL can be used for moving any policy GPUs to Intune, right? If I understand,
This
like
is
we
the
did for
cloud
this.
cloud GPO stuff, right?
Okay, yeah. Understand.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
that's
one more
correct.
thing for subscription, like we are getting this messages to increase for doing our testings. How it can be done? We need to enter some credit card informations. Any idea?
Increase, you might need to call, right? I tried this 2 or 3 years before, right? So there's a article on my on our blog, so how to extend Intune subscription or something, right? So over there I had gone through the entire processes, which I did like I don't know, it was before 2 years or 3 years or more, probably before 4 years. So you need to call a Microsoft number and you need to give them a justification. Why do you want to extend the trial, right? What is the business reason behind it? And it
Okay,
was pretty easy at that time to get an extension, but I'm not sure now.
okay, sure. Let me know.
Uh, Another one more doubt. Even if they are providing that trial license for 90 days E5, in that case, why we are, I mean, purchasing 30 days license for Intune? Yes,
Yeah, that's no need then.
that is not required.
Yeah, that is not required. If you have a 90 days E-file license, then don't worry, be happy. Yeah. Enjoy your 90 days of
Yeah,
free Intune
yeah.
learning.
E5 license, yeah, E5 license is also a trial license. It is free for us. Why it
Yeah,
is
I got you.
separately we need to.
I got you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? Otherwise, we
yeah.
will end here. And yeah, any questions?
Neeraj here. Anup?
I'm not able to hear you properly. Your voice is kind of breaking in between. Is that a question?
Okay. Is this audible now?
No, it's still a bit feeble.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
Jaswinder here.
Yeah. Hello.
Just wanted to check, like, do we have any limitation, anything which GPU can do, and still we won't be able to achieve through Intune?
Yeah, that we need to do case by case analysis, to be honest, right?
Okay.
So there could be, you will find something which you can do from a GPU, and you won't be able to do from Intune policies, right? Probably a perfect example is preference, GPU preference, right? There is a preference option in GPU, right? If I
Correct.
understand correctly, right? So
Correct.
that option you might not get in Intune, right? So
Okay.
or in Windows 10 MDM scenarios, right? So probably if you have a scenario like that, you are better to continue using GPU, or you need to kind of get a workaround for this, using some other logic to target some preferences, etc., right? So that is one of the perfect example for GPU versus like MDM policies.
So with this COVID situation, like you might be knowing, most of the users are working from home now, and I think it is going to continue, and it will be a new normal. What do you suggest for corporates? Like, what kind of hybrid solutions we should suggest as an end user technology guys?
That's a wider question, right? So
Like, it's a new
cloud
normal.
cloud related solutions, right? That is the best way to move forward in this scenario. So that is why Microsoft share is going up and up and up, right? So yeah, that's a only a solution. And hybrid solution is like, I think probably you can watch the previous videos, and then on Sunday session, one of the initial session, right, when I compared SCCM with Intune, so I clearly mentioned about all those things, right? What are the things which we can go like in a hybrid kind of a scenario? You If you have Azure AD Connect, and you have already, if you already using Office 365, then that kind of strategy will work for you, sure, for sure.
Okay.
Okay, so any other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to end this call here, and we will speak to you tomorrow, same time. Not tomorrow, Monday, same time, same place. Any last questions? Okay, somebody was trying to ask a question, and I think he already left, or I don't know. Okay, anyways, thank you all for joining in, and hope this is helpful. If it is helpful, please help us to like share this to your colleagues, and probably that will help them also. Thank you all. Bye bye.
Thank you, Anup. Happy weekend.
Happy
Thank
weekend.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.